And podcast episode 71. We took a little bit of break. Not much is going on, and I had a lot going on. But training camp is upon us. Coming very
July
soon.
20, yeah,
Yeah,
July 26th, I believe, is when
yeah.
training camp
Hard
starts.
Hard Knocks will be a part of that as well. We got the Hall of Fame game. Um, but before we jump into all that, like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. But yeah, like I said, not I guess not upon us, but that's the next step. We're ready for that.
Also, there was a little bit of an update too because they're going to have the NFL Network's going to carry all of the Bears preseason games.
Interesting, yeah.
So yeah, a lot of national exposure on top of the hard knocks, as you were talking about. Um, Training camp. Caleb Williams started his own investment firm. Um, that it's called like Eight Midas or something like that.
Yeah, something Midas. Yeah, I remember that.
It has something to do with, this goes hand in hand, kind of like what we were hearing about him wanting, some kind of ownership, blah 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 blah. So I mean, again, it's not the diva-ish thing. I mean, if he's gonna make moves to kind of, further his career, it's like he's trying to live the real life ballers TV show with The Rock. You know what I'm saying?
I guess if he does it smart, like LeBron, and you're letting other people handle it that you really trust while you focus on football, because I respect you want to be a billionaire, but you're not gonna be able to do both. You For those things you need to be giving your undivided attention, and so you can't do both.
No,
Um,
you can't have that kind of distraction over your head when you're trying to win football games, especially in this city. Um, Aurora wants to be back into the ring for um, the new Bears stadium. That's never gonna happen.
no.
Um, I don't know. There's stuff going on. It's just not exactly newsworthy stuff going
I
on with the
guess there's
Bears.
just a lot of shuffling. Like I said, they're talking about Caleb's preseason plan. Guys are going on podcasts. What did Booker? I think was it right? Booker went on part of my take the Bears one and said fuck the Packers. Um, what? Oh well, something came out today, or might have been yesterday, that the Falcons turned down a fourth
Yeah,
round pick
they
from the
turned down the fourth
Bears.
round pick that they ended up taking uh Booker with. Uh
Yeah,
and yeah, they ended up
and
turning it down to move down one
and
spot.
it just makes no sense because like if you guys knew you wanted Penix, you
Ryan
know
Ryan
for a
Pace
fact the
Ryan
Bears
Pace
aren't.
works Ryan Pace works for the Atlanta Falcons front office. He doesn't make the decisions, but that's all you need to know. Right there. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
but like,
saying?
what are you? Like, I don't
I
understand
have
the
no
logic.
idea. I
It's
have no
like
clue.
if they made it seem like Penix was the guy that like, oh, if he's there, we're taking him. So it's like there's, I guess, if the Patriots, the Redskins, and especially the Bears, because it's just one pick behind you, like they're not going to take Penix. So it's like, of course you trade back and if they give you anything, why wouldn't you take it?
I have no idea. When I saw that, I was just like, wow.
It does. It didn't even
Um,
make sense, and it's like,
there that whole organization seems like it's going to be in shambles. I know they were a very
they
hot
were
pick.
doing okay, and it's like the Kirk Cousins signings was pretty good. I mean, Pitts
Yeah,
hadn't panned out, but he's like a average player. London's okay. Bijan, they were a top 15 defense. They had some momentum, and then it's like they give Cousins all this money, then they waste their first round pick on a guy that they're going to bench, and it's like then you find out they're like they didn't even just take a free fourth round pick from the Bears, and it's like what the hell are they doing over there?
legitimately a free pick.
Yeah, a free.
It's
Like I
like
said, if it was the
it would have
seventh,
been the trade that the Bears made last year with
yeah,
Philadelphia.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
and it's like at least it was a worry. Philadelphia was worried the Bears might take Carter. Like, there's no worry that the Bears are going to take your guy. Like,
Yeah, it
so I
makes
don't.
no sense. That front office, Arthur Blank, the owner, he's gonna have some work cut out for him. I didn't like the I didn't like to hire Raheem Morris as head coach anyway. Not because of Raheem Morris. I don't feel like that would I don't feel like he's gonna bring what the Falcons need. I know they went offensive coach last time with Arthur Smith. Now they're bringing in, a defensive guy. I still don't feel like that's the right fit. But the NFC South is kind of like a shit show anyway. Um,
I don't know. I
I
think they're going to be a lot like I think the Bucks are
I
middle
think
of
they'll win
the
the
Bucks are
division.
middle of the pack. The Saints, if they don't get bit by the injury bug, they're not a contender, but they always play. They're like the Steelers. They play tough. They win games. They're going to be hard to beat. So I don't know. Like and man, I just we've talked about it multiple times. I just don't get the Penix pick, and then now you're hearing this. So like, I don't get why Poles wanted to trade. I guess they really wanted a Dunze that bad, and it's like I guess, and I hope Dunze's saying all the right stuff. He looks the part. He's got a lot of potential. He said he's chasing Pua Nuka's record.
Yeah,
I don't know
Puka
if that's
Nakua's rookie record.
I don't think that's going to work out because we got Keenan
No.
Allen and DJ Moore. I don't think he's going to get anywhere near that.
Well,
But
the offensive scheme isn't the Sean McVay scheme anyway, and Caleb Williams isn't Matthew Stafford. I mean, I know you say you and I had this debate last year on this podcast that you felt Matthew Stafford was overrated, and I completely disagreed with you. I still
I
feel like
think he's overrated in like in the sense of him being a Hall of Famer. I think he's got. I mean, a blind man can see he's got a big arm. I just don't think like I don't think they made it seem like Detroit was holding him back, and I don't think that was the case. I think it was a mix. Like there were years that yes, he was good enough and they sucked, sure. But there was years where they had a pretty solid team and he choked in the fucking playoffs. So I think it just goes hand in hand. And then when they tell this story, it's like, oh, the Lions ruined. They wasted Matt Stafford's career, and it's like he had Megatron. They had some year. They had a nice 3 to 5 year stretch where they had a quality defense. I mean, it wasn't top five, but they had decent. They had Sue. They were okay. Like, and he didn't do anything. So it's like
that's the thing though, is realistically when you look back at those teams, besides Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson, those two players, who else did they really
yeah,
have?
they had Sue, but like a lot of like when you're that's what I'm saying. He's not a hall of like he's not the guy. Like so was that Eli Manning one with you know what I mean, Justin Tuck and like who like they had a really good defense, but they weren't that like it wasn't a bunch of
Yeah,
fucking
they had
studs.
the
They had
two
Strahan and Tuck and
years that they won
fucking
the Super Bowl, they had ridiculous defenses.
yeah, but it was a bunch of guys who played well together. It wasn't like a bunch of these
And
superstars.
Michael Strahan is
Yeah, but old
one of the
Strahan and
greatest
Tuck.
defensive ends of all time.
Yeah. And but like who are their linebackers or DBs were okay. Like I'm not saying they didn't have any good players. I'm saying they had Sue. They had
That's the thing is when you have a dominant defensive line, you can get away with having a mediocre secondary and a mediocre linebacker core. We've seen
yeah,
that
but
throughout
yeah, but I also think Stafford's way better like player than Eli Manning too. So like you don't like I don't think he shouldn't eat as good of a team as Eli Manning. But either way, like I said, I won't say he's overrated. I think he's very good and he was good in college. He was good in high school. I think he lived up to his number. I think he was a franchise quarterback. I just think like he's like kind of like Kirk Cousins. Like he's just more talented, but he chokes in the playoffs. He's had plenty of, you know what I mean? Make sure he hasn't had a Dallas Cowboy Dak like team where he was surrounded by studs. No, but like normally you don't. Most of Brady's Super Bowls, he wasn't surrounded by a fucking super team. Most of even Mahomes is his last year. They got Kelsey and Chris Jones. I mean, they got some good young defensive players, but not like again he's surrounded by a bunch of fucking studs. Um, but yeah, Dunze's not going to get anywhere close. We just got too many.
No, I don't think so.
I'll be
Like, I
shocked if
mean,
he gets 1,000 yards. I know they're saying it's a race to
I
a
don't think he
thousand.
yeah, I don't think he hits 1,000 happens or something like that because like I said, you gotta now with the offensive players that you have on this offense, you have a lot of mouths to feed.
Yeah,
DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, they're going to be expected to
they're
get
going to want the ball.
75
Yeah,
catches, 75 catches, 1,000 yards. Cole Komet's going to expect to eat over the middle, especially if you're going to spread the defense. Go three wide with the inline tight ends and DeAndre Swift catch probably what 40 balls out of
yeah.
the
I was going to say
backfield.
at least 30 to 50 somewhere in there.
So, there's a lot of mouths to feed on this offense. And Gerald Everett, taking targets away as well, because Gerald Everett, it's not like Gerald Everett's your normal tight end two on any other NFL team where he's kind of just like an inline blocker.
A
He's a
receiver. Oh
pretty
yeah.
damn good target.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm interested to see how the offense is going to look because there's a lot of guys. We signed what Carter, DeAndre Carter today. kick returner, wide receiver, fast
Yeah,
guy.
we
Um,
re-signed Mercedes Lewis.
yeah, I don't know
That
what that
old
does for
man.
Velus Jones. Um, kind of been like I know you said this a while back that maybe they should try him out at running back or something, or
Just
he's
make
way
him
to
a
get him
gadget guy,
touches. Yeah, like I don't his future
like
wide
a Tavon
receiver.
Austin or a Percy Harvin type. I'm
Yeah,
not saying he's gonna be Percy. Percy Harvin was pretty damn good. Those migraines and injuries kind of cut his career short. But I mean, if you have a guy with speed that just in open field can make a play, yeah, he's got fumbleitis, and that's a huge issue in the NFL. But if he can get that together and just use his natural ability, I understand everybody in the NFL is fast. I get that, but there's something about one cut speed and
oh
the.
yeah,
I mean,
he's really fast. You said, yeah.
Devin Hester made a career out of it. Returning kicks and punts where one cut up the field, he was gone. And that's that kind of talent isn't everywhere in the NFL. And if Velus Jones can somehow kind of rein that in and get something similar to like that, just get the ball in his hands a couple times a game, see what happens. But like you said, with that signing, it does kind of, the writing's on the wall a little
Yeah,
bit.
then
I
like
think training
if he
camp and
doesn't have a good
preseason.
camp, I think he's out of
Yeah, I
here.
think training camp and preseason are going to be big for him. And if he doesn't, then we talked about it. He's probably going to be gone. I mean, you have Tyler Boyd. Yeah, there's a lot of people in that wide receiver room. You got to see what Tyler Boyd has. I know he
Scott,
had a
Tyler
really bad
Scott.
Tyler Scott. Yeah, sorry. I know he had a really bad couple of drops. This past season with Justin Fields, and you're hoping that with these veteran guys, DJ Moore and Keenan Allen being in there, that maybe they can kind of
Uh,
just lift the aura of that wide receiver room
yeah,
that
I
that
agree, and I didn't like the
Juju.
drops, but he's got speed. I watched his highlight tape, and again, we talked about this before. I was always team. I mean, I'm hoping Rome is good, but us take somebody besides the Dunze and just like I said, Keenan's a vet, DJ Moore's a vet. They seem like likable guys, so I'm expecting Tyler Scott to take the next step. You know what I mean, and be a solid number three receiver, even though he'll be the number four. But you know, what I mean, DJ was banged up a lot last year. I think he played through it because we didn't have anybody else. But I think this year he might, if his ankle's bothering him, he might sit out a game or two. Keenan Allen's, I thought he was injury prone, but looking through, he just misses like 4 games a year. Like he's a lock to miss like 4 games. Um, so there'll be opportunities. And I do want to see Tyler Scott out there, but with the Carter signing, that just makes me think like Velus Jones is out the door. Unless they figure out a creative way to use him. But like you were just going off the list. Like, what are they going to get him 1 touch a game? Like, are they going to keep him on the team just for 1 touch? So I don't. And he doesn't. He's a returner, but he doesn't. I don't think he plays like the opposite side of special teams where he's a gunner or anything. So it's like I don't know.
Well, that's the thing too, is that with the new kickoff rules,
Oh
I'll be
yeah, I didn't
interested.
think about that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot about that.
I'll be interested to see how that's going to work out, because maybe they stick both of them back there, because you know it's going to be interesting. I haven't watched a lot of XFL, but the I have seen with the new when they approved the new kickoff rules. I did kind of watch a little bit of highlights and stuff kickoffs. I mean, they needed to bring that stuff back anyway, because realistically, it was taking a part out of the game that's been in the game for so long that it was completely making it irrelevant. So it's nice that they're gonna do things like that. I know they talked about the stuff with like Kansas City, how Harrison Butker isn't gonna probably isn't gonna do kickoffs. It's gonna be the like the wide receiver or something like that that's gonna do kickoffs. That when Butker was hurt or whatever, he was kicking field goals and stuff. Like the kid's got a leg. It has nothing to do with the speech that he made at that university commencement speech, but it's just like it's gonna bring new strategy, kind of new things to the game, and I'll be interested to see some of that, maybe some fuckery and some trickery on special teams, some
Yeah,
things we haven't seen before. So, I mean, that'd be kind of cool. I'm just, we have to do something, because we're pussifying the game a lot. It's it's getting very dumbed down. It's getting very non-violent, and I understand concussions. I've had my fair share of concussions playing the game. You've had your fair share of injuries and concussions playing the game. We know going in that we're going to get hurt, It's a very violent sport. That's what makes it very attractive to,
Exactly.
many Americans. And when you take that away, it's just kind of, you might as well throw flags on these guys and have them play flag football. So, I mean, we want to see the hitting, we want to see the
Yeah, I never got the. It's like they lobby for more money because it's so dangerous, but also it's like, all right, fine, we agree. You got to make more money. You guys get a bigger cut. You're putting your bodies on line. Then you're like, all right, now we got all the money. Let's make it safer. So it's like, what the hell? Like, and I respect all these guys, and I would love to play. Like you said, obviously we're not playing on that level, but it's the choice you make. Like, I'm not. I just think the NFL needs to fix their insurance plan to make sure these guys are taken care of if they're ruined for the rest of their life. And that's a drop in the bucket, costs the NFL nothing anyway to be paying some medical bills, even if it was your whole fucking life. Um, but that being said, like, yeah, it's a violent game. That's why we liked it. These guys getting hurt on kickoff. Again, no offense to any of them. We're practice squad, special teams guys anyway. Like, so it's like you take all this stuff out. Like, all you're doing is like eliminating, like, yeah, this guy's not going to break his neck, but then now he's not going to play at all. Like, not going to do anything. So, again, I feel for it, but if you don't want to get hurt, be a fucking lawyer. Like, these guys all went to fucking college, and that's how I always look at it. I'm not going to, these guys, I know they're not the smartest guys in the world. I've seen videos where that's a fact that they're fucking idiots, but um, still, they're grown ups. So, I mean, you don't need to be
well,
smart to know banging your head against another giant man's head for 10 years isn't going to be good for you in the future. Like, that's not
yep.
some shit where they're like, oh, they were hiding that. Like, if you were freaking an idiot, like, anybody would know that, like, that can't be good for you. Like,
Well, we're starting to see the corporate greed of the NFL. I mean, we always knew the NFL was greedy, but there's those reports out there now that they're facing a potential, class action lawsuit because they want to keep the streaming abilities of these games to the prime networks like CBS and Fox because it brings them in more revenue. Because before it sold to YouTube TV, there was another streaming service or whatever that wanted to bring the NFL Sunday Ticket to them and offer just individual team packages, like the NFL or like the NBA and MLB TV do, where you could just purchase the Chicago Bulls and see all their games no matter where you live, and
it'd be
stuff like
cheaper.
that. But the NFL said no because they wanted it to be very restricted and they wanted to keep it a premium product. And there's a lot of people out there saying that violates some kind of like policy or something. I
What
I,
part? The
I
part
don't know
where,
the
like, you can't
semantics
buy
of it.
individual packages?
It's antitrust policy or antitrust law or something like that. um I'm gonna look it up right now.
I don't. I don't understand why they would. I understand like want to trying to control it a little bit, but the only wanting to watch your team part seems like a no brainer.
Here it is. NFL goes on trial in $21 billion antitrust class action over Sunday ticket package. Residential and commercial subscribers seek as much as $7 billion in damages, which is subject to mandatory trebling under antitrust law for overpaying to watch out of market games. So what's going on is that it says the lawsuit was filed in 2015. And it says the NFL broke the antitrust law when it allowed DirecTV to exclusively sell the Sunday ticket package of out of market Sunday afternoon games airing on CBS and Fox at what it says was an inflated price and restricted competition.
Well, the restricted competition, I understand, but I don't know. They're weird. That stuff's weird to me. I always thought that you couldn't do some of the stuff that these people do, but they do.
Yeah,
But yes, the NFL is
it
greedy.
also prohibits teams from individually negotiating broadcasting
But if
contracts.
any one of our watchers are paying for the Sunday ticket, do not just go to streameast.com. Can watch any basketball football game on there. It's just fine. It used to be Buff Streams, but they took him down. But basketball and football, they don't really throttle the streams. They don't really care. Like, I don't know if they care so much. Like, if you watch a fight stream, it's pretty laggy. But the football, it's just behind, and I don't like watching the Bears games 30 seconds behind. But
I don't either. That's why I don't
um,
fuck with. That's
but
why I
when I'm
need.
watching something else, when it's not the Bears game, I don't really care. So that's why I just watch them on there.
Yeah, if it's I can't I that's why I don't fuck with like the YouTube TV or like the those TV apps, where you can Sling
Yeah,
TV and all that other shit. I can't do that. I have to have Comcast
yeah,
or some kind of direct cable to watch the game live. Um, I mean, I'll listen to it on the radio because I just love Jeff Joniak's fucking voice, calling the games. He's probably my favorite play-by-play announcer in all of sports. Um, but yeah, no, it's just the corporate greed and everything. You think I understand. I get it. You're the fucking NFL. It's not like you're going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But let's give back to your fans a little bit. I mean, we everybody that watches this podcast is a football fan, obviously, right? If we're going on vacation, let's just say we're going on vacation. It's during the season. We go, fuck it, man. We take the kids to Disney World. You know what I'm saying? We're down in Florida. We can't catch any games. What I do personally, what I do is I have Xfinity, so I have Xfinity Stream,
yeah. Doesn't it
and
stream from your TV?
well, no, because it goes by your GPS. Um, I I go into the settings on here, and I do the um I forgot what kind of settings they are, but you can download a fake GPS app and you can set your GPS for home, and then it tricks your apps into thinking that you're at home. So then I just am able to watch, local
Yeah,
games and stuff like that on there. But for people that aren't like that, man, it's just like fuck, dude. That just why not sell individual team
yeah. I don't.
pack?
Well, I don't. What I'm saying
Like
is
that
like,
would
and you don't
be
have to. You could just like, what's the Sunday ticket like $500 or something?
yeah, it's like $460
So
for
it's
the whole
like
season.
sell the team one for 250 for like half, and like still that's a like I don't know. Well, again, I stopped. I used to get the ticket. My mom used to have it for a really long time too,
I had it for a
uh,
couple of years, and
but I like I said, there's too many free streaming things. Where like you said, like I would like to support the NFL, but they don't give back to us. So it's like I'm not paying them $500 to watch a bunch of games I can find for free and watch on my laptop, my tablet, my phone, whatever I want.
let me tell you something that's pissing me off real quick. I just need to get this off my chest. I'm not bitter by any means. This is gonna make me sound bitter, but I'm not bitter by any means. But how is it that a man can talk shit about Caleb Williams so much in the offseason, leading up to the draft, everything else like that? The fan that Caleb Williams ended up calling and giving him a jersey and the tickets to, he was one of the biggest fucking haters that Caleb Williams had leading up to the draft. I mean, this guy talked a whole bunch of shit about him on TikTok, on Twitter, everything. And, and now all of a sudden he's
Probably
grown
why
up.
he gave him the jersey. But I don't know. I mean, again, Caleb
I'm
is
still
growing
not.
on me, and I am a diehard Bears fan. So whoever the quarterback is, I'm going to stand for him anyway. So, but Caleb is doing all the right things. He's at camps. He's being personable. Like he's being corny and goofy, and I just think pretty authentic. And I
Well, that's the
appreciate that.
personality that
Yes.
you got to have in the city. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
we talk about nostalgia a lot, right?
Yeah.
We talk about nostalgia a lot. Does anybody remember what Walter Payton's personality was like? Walter Payton wasn't Walter Payton was very out there. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? He was a weird guy. He was, a fun-loving guy. Jim McMahon, the quarterback, the punky QB, you know what I'm saying? Those early teams and stuff like they let loose. They didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They weren't, and that's kind of how I feel
And
like
he
this.
was just giving off vibes before, or there was bad reporting, whatever. Or maybe that is how it was, and he decided I'm not going to be like that in Chicago. But there were rumors that he was a diva, and like being a diva don't work in Chicago. Like Jay Cutler got the diva tag. I don't think he actually was one, but the way he acted, people like kind of portrayed him as that, and people hated him, like because they
Well,
thought he was
he always had the lemon face. You
yeah,
know what
like he
I'm saying?
had a little stuck up face where you didn't think he cared, but I don't. And that stuck with him, and just people didn't like from that reason because that's not like Chicago. Like we like, you know what I mean, a little animation, little personality. And Jay Cutler was just like he always had dick face. He was just looked like a prick on the sideline, who looked like he was secretly blaming everybody else.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, if you watch Jay Cutler outside of football, uh, he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
That
he's so
like
funny.
he is a really he talks so much shit about his ex-wife, and it's the
I used
funniest
to
shit.
listen to him on Waddle until what was it, on Tuesdays? I think not
Friday.
every Tuesday, or is it Friday?
It's
I know it's one
Fridays.
day a week, and he doesn't always do it, but like most weeks. Um, but I don't know. I've been honestly, Cap rubbed me the wrong way when he was like talking shit about Justin Fields, and I honestly still don't listen to ESPN 100 anymore. I don't want I didn't like that. Like I'm over Justin Fields not being on the team before, but I thought Cap was being a prick. And honestly, I don't think he would have said that to Justin's face, and I don't like that. Like I
Oh
just don't
no,
like that,
1000% he wouldn't have.
and I
He
don't
wouldn't have
like.
said.
I don't respect
I don't.
stuff you
Yeah.
say if I don't think you would say it to the person. I'm fine with you having negative criticisms and you saying like, "Oh, he wasn't a good quarterback and he wasn't playing well." That's rooted in statistics, and it's up to you know what I mean. My faith in him was you know what I mean, what I thought he would be, and not what he was doing. But I thought Cap was being a little critical when he's like, "Just shut up and don't say anything," and like I don't know, like
Well, realistically,
not
look
saying
at
I don't disagree too. I probably would have told Justin to be quiet too. I just thought he had like this attitude, like "Shut up, kid. We're moving on to the next guy." Like, I don't know.
looking at the contract that Trevor Lawrence just signed, that was pretty much gonna be your basis for a Justin Fields
I
contract.
don't think so. I think Justin would have been more like 40.
I no, no shot.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely no chance.
Trevor. Well, you can't just like Trevor won the like they went to the playoffs. He won a game. Like Justin didn't do any. Like he
It
didn't
doesn't
really
matter.
do any.
That's just the going rate for quarterbacks. That's the thing
Yeah,
that
but
people
quarterbacks
don't understand.
who what quarterback who didn't do will make the playoffs and is getting 55.
That if you're paying for just what you expect someone to be, which is what seems like Jacksonville is doing with Trevor Lawrence, that you were going to be paying Justin Fields fifty
Then
million
why didn't
dollars.
Baker get 55 then? He
What do you
proved
mean?
he Baker proved way more than Trevor Lawrence has ever done.
That's why I'm saying Trevor Lawrence got paid for what they think he's going to do.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
I
I don't think
just said that.
yeah, but what I'm saying is like I don't think Justin would have had like so nobody thinks Baker's going to continue being better than Trevor Lawrence.
No.
That's why not though? Like I don't like I, I guess I don't know if they're assuming that Trevor is going to do something he's never done, I guess. But
That's what I'm saying. Like people, I understand they're two different organizations, but you don't think if Justin Fields was still on the Bears, Justin Fields' agents are looking at that contract and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're about to get paid." Then whoever doesn't think
well,
that
sure,
sadly
yeah. I just don't
that
think it
was
would have been that same one, and I just think honestly thought
it would have
for
been damn close.
and this is year three. Like that's a you know what I mean. That contract doesn't even start for 2 years. I think I always said I thought Justin Fields would have got tagged unless he was amazing, and then it would have been worth it, so it wouldn't have mattered. But I don't think he would have got 55 million. I think he would have got tagged and then cut. So I understand what you're saying. Like that's what he would have been asking for. I'm saying I don't think he would have got it, and he would have got tagged for the 35 million and then been gone unless he proved he was worth it. And I think that Trevor Lawrence isn't worth that. But
Well,
you can't let him go, I guess. But I don't.
the
I,
prices of quarterbacks are going to keep
just
going
gonna
up and
keep
up and
going
up and
up.
up
So
and
I
up.
guess that's what they're like. You're saying they're like, oh, he's gonna be just as good, if not better. And if we wait a year, it's gonna be 65. So, but like, what is Purdy gonna make now? Like,
Purdy's going to make a lot of money.
but what that's what I'm saying is like Purdy's not gonna get paid on what you think he's gonna be, though. He's getting paid on what he did. Like nobody thinks Purdy's better than Trevor Lawrence, but he's getting paid on what he already did. So it's like some people get paid on what you do, some people get paid on potential. Um, so I don't know. Well, I was having a conversation
Well,
with somebody. I don't know what Purdy's going to ask for.
I could tell you who's licking their chops right now, and that's Dak Prescott in
Yes,
Dallas.
that's what Dak's getting paid. He's going to get 65 next year to go play
Like
for.
he's
I don't know.
he's
Probably
probably
the
when he
Raiders or the Giants next year.
when
Raiders or Giants.
when Trevor Lawrence signed that contract, Dak's people were probably fucking jizzing in their pants.
I know. But you know who?
Like
Like I said, I brought him up already. I know Baker's pissed. He should have waited because I again like I think Trevor Lawrence is good, and I think he's good. I think we've seen a good sample size of him playing, and I think he's not better than Baker Mayfield. So fuck you, like Baker took
yeah,
what
because what did
33,
Baker sign for? What 1 year?
35? No, he got like 3 years, 100.
Three for 100.
Yeah, something like that. Close maybe 102 or something, 105. But he like and Baker's. literally proven on multiple different teams that he can play with lesser talent and make it to the playoffs. Like,
Yeah, I think a lot of things though too is that, in Baker's situation, yeah, number one overall pick, just like Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence didn't, go on 4 teams in 5 years. You know what I'm
yeah, but
saying?
that wasn't because of like that wasn't
It
necessarily
doesn't
because Baker
matter.
was
That's
bad
that's
though.
the way
They
that's the way
traded.
front
Yeah, I
offices
agree
look
with you
at it.
then. But what I'm saying is like I try to be a judge. Like he didn't go on 4 teams because he's bad. The Browns got Deshaun Watson for whatever dumbass reason. Then he kind of went on the carousel where like he went on Matt Stafford's team, and then he went on the team that was going to have the ended up trading for the first overall pick. Like, so it's like he just wasn't in the plan. But he's not. And but he went to the Bucks and was, I mean, top 15 quarterback easily.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I mean, I still like Baker.
I just think Baker's a winner, and I think he's better than a lot of these guys. And it's like when he's got 35, that's what I'm thinking. Something like he's signing for 35, then like what the and fucking Trevor Lawrence is getting 20 more million a year than him. Um, Also too, I guess we're looking like we are getting at like Trevor's not getting that 55 a year for another 3 seasons or two seasons, like two more
Yeah,
before it kicks
two
in.
more years.
And in Baker's situation, he's getting it right now. The money he's getting is moving forward in the next year. We will see. These contracts, like you said, are going to be crazy. Dak's
They're
going to
gonna
break
start getting
records.
ridiculous.
Mahomes, I'm assuming, is going to re-sign here soon. He gave them a little discount, but as the cap goes up, I'm assuming he'll restructure every 2 or 3 years to make sure they're giving him at least, you know what I mean? Because like he's like not. I don't know if he's in the top 10 paid quarterbacks right now. Like I know 5 is T. Law, Burrow, Lamar. Fuck, I know Mahomes isn't in it.
Well, and is it like doesn't that kind of say something about quarterbacks in general? Like you just said all those guys, right? Those top quarterbacks that are getting paid, those top 5 guys. None of them have rings because of Patrick Mahomes, right?
Yeah.
But yet Mahomes is steady being like, all right, I don't need to be the top guy. I want to be well compensated for what I'm doing, but I don't need to be the top
Brady
guy.
did the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, people have
He
to,
won't learn.
quarterbacks have to start understanding
I
that
had this
is that
debate with
it's
somebody because they were saying like, "Oh, the you having the rookie salary cap such a benefit," and I'm like, "No," because those guys. I mean, at best case scenario, you get second place, but really in reality, you need a veteran quarterback who's going to take a pay cut.
yes,
Like
one thousand percent.
the rookie deal. Yes, it's good for you to build a super team, but in reality, you're not winning the Super Bowl with the rookie quarterback. Or you know what I mean? How there's been like 5 quarterbacks who've won on their first contract. Like you need Brady or Mahomes, and like you said, it's telling that the guys who are doing this. And I just think these guys are so very short sighted because Brady's going to be a billionaire. Like he's going to make his money in the back end with his legacy. Like Fox is paying him what, like fucking more than
350 million a year, or not a year, but 350 million for his, for his contract or whatever. And
what is
that's
it like
still,
10 years or something? I'm
it's
sure.
yeah, it's like 35 million a year
Yes.
for
So it's like,
to like that's just ridiculous. And then on
yeah,
top of everything that he has
yeah. He's got a
outside of
production
football,
company. I'm sure
you
he's
know,
still. If he wanted to start a podcast, he could do that. Like and
he's
be,
gonna be he's gonna be like Tiger. He's gonna be like Michael. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They're gonna
mogul.
build a
He's gonna be a
he's gonna build
mogul.
a
Yeah.
brand. Yeah, they're
And I
gonna
think,
build.
and Mahomes just probably knows that too. He's like, I'm 29. I can take a few pay cuts. I don't need the money anyway. I play football every day, and then when I
Well,
retire, I'm going to be royalty in Kansas City and a goat. Like, and then I can do
that's
whatever
why
I
I
want.
think that's why I think Caleb Williams right now is playing his cards right with the investment firm, and he's setting himself up for life outside of football,
I
right?
don't see him taking a pay cut. I don't know. Like I said, maybe that's still old stuff that's swirling around in my head that isn't rooted in reality. But I don't envision him not being like breaking the record when he signs. And I think I'm not saying he won't deserve it or not, but I think he breaks the record. And I think Patrick Mahomes did in a way break a record, but I don't know. It wasn't on like a yearly like salary, but
No, it
he
wasn't
got like a
yearly. It was
$500 million
total.
deal or whatever, right?
Yeah, it was a total
Yeah,
value of 500 mil over 10 years,
yeah. Um,
which is still ridiculous. I mean,
this is
that's
crazy. And
just
I mean, it's about to get restructured. I'm assuming here very soon because there's too many
I don't think
guys.
there's enough money. Kansas City, I don't think there's enough money you could pay Patrick Mahomes that's like because what on paper, what is his
It's
value?
fun. It's funny you said. I was just it was on like Get Up. It was one of the ESPN shows, and they said that because they were saying who is more underpaid, Brock Purdy or Patrick Mahomes? Because Brock Purdy makes like nothing, and
Yeah,
Patrick Mahomes makes like 50, and they were like, I still think it's Patrick Mahomes because he's invaluable. And even though Purdy's good and he's fucking crazily underpaid based on what he's done, he was basically. I thought he
1000%.
should have been the MVP. And he's making like you know what I mean, under $1 million a year, and it's like you were saying, like Patrick Mahomes still was more underpaid because I think he gets like 50 something.
Yeah.
But it's
What's
like,
his
what is he
value?
worth?
Like
200,
legit.
300? Like,
Like it's and you got to take it's not just and yes, Super Bowls and winning has a lot to do with it, but it's the culture
yes,
aspect
he's
of it too
swag
that you
too.
bring
People
up
like
so
him.
much. You know what I'm saying? Like
He's got swag and
it's
people like him.
everything.
Yes, he's both. Like he plays to all the fam. Everybody likes him. The only people who don't really like Patrick Mahomes are like,
The same people that don't like Tom Brady
yeah, but
because
like
they're
Bengals
winners.
fans because they threw a flag and you lost the game. But it's like not because he's a prick or something. Like he's fun to watch. He seems like a nice guy. He's a respectable dude. So it's like he's playing on, and like I said, he's smart like Brady, where it's like, yeah, I'll miss out on 5 or 10 million a year in my salary while I'm fucking dominating. And then they'll pay me in the back end.
Speaking of Brady, did you watch the roast of Tom Brady?
Oh yeah, I watched the roast. I'm
That
actually
shit
I like the Patriot thing that what they did on what was that Friday or maybe it was Thursday the where they retired or honored him or whatever.
that roast was fucking great. It was
Yeah, you
hilarious.
see his ex-wife, like her boyfriend broke
Yeah,
up with him
yeah,
after.
yeah. They broke up, yeah, and it was the instructor that broke it off
Yeah,
because of the roast. But I mean, dude, I like you talk culture a lot. You know what I'm saying, and the PC culture and everything that's going on right now. And as much as you and I are annoyed, it seems like comedy is one of those things that has still been left untouched.
I don't
Because
know
that was a
about if it's
very
untouched, but I think that's one of the areas where there's still people who are willing to cross the
to
line.
push the
Yeah,
boundaries. Yes, and a lot of these Gen Zers are trying to cancel Eminem over a very mild Eminem song with his Houdini release, and it was like I just favorite things to do now is go on TikTok and watch Gen Zers react to old Eminem music. Especially after they made a big stink about the Houdini song, just talking about how he made a one reference to Megan the Stallion, and that was like I said, this is one of the tamest things I'd ever heard ever coming out of Eminem. It's really not that bad. And it's the cancel culture is absolutely,
yeah. It's people
oh my
are
god.
they're too self-involved that like the problem is like we were talking. You kind of brought up Harrison Buck earlier. It's like people just can't be like, well, I don't agree with him, so I just won't ever listen to that guy. Like they're like, no, I don't agree with
No, he's
him,
a
and
misogynistic,
I need him
racist
to change his
asshole.
mind. It's like there's these people who are complaining. It's like this what Jason Kelsey, who I like. You know, I mean, I'm team Lyman, I love him a lot, but he was trying to dance around with something. It's like, dude, your fucking wife's a stay-at-home mom. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't want to hear. Like, come on now. Like, and what he's saying is true. Like, it's true, and he's not shitting on anybody. You're gonna be. I have daughters. You guys can do whatever the hell you want to do. But don't tell me that who wouldn't want to stay at home and not do anything and take care of their family. Even a dude would want to do that. He just would rather his wife do it instead of him if they had to choose. But like, that's just being a human being. Like being one, like rather being with your family than going to work. Like we would all choose that. It's like they've made it this thing where it's like you hate women because it's like ask anyone who's got any kids. Would they rather go to work 8 hours a day or stay at home with their kid? Like the answer, like 99 out of 100 times, we already know the answer. But it's like we have to pretend like that's not true to spare some people who don't even have kids' feelings. The people who are triggered are a bunch of the people who don't have any damn kids, who fucking hate kids, and their fucking dad left them, and they're like just want to see the world burn. And it's like what we're saying another thing. So like if you don't like it, same with Eminem. You don't like it, don't fucking listen to it. If you don't fucking want to subscribe to it, and Harrison Bucker was at a Catholic academy where like that is what they talk about, and
Yes.
you recorded it and then try to extrapolate it to the world. Like you guys aren't Catholics. If you aren't Catholic, he wasn't talking to you. Like, and it's like these people are like everything you say has something to do with me. You mean me. Like same with Gaza and all this stuff. It's like like our college kids are fighting over Gaza. Like like kids from Connecticut and other kids from Connecticut are beefing over Gaza and Israel, and it's like, yes, I'm all, you know what I mean. Figure it out. But I don't really give a shit about God. Like, I'm not getting upset. I'm not getting triggered. I'm not attacking people over silly stuff that has nothing to do with anything. It's same with like the Caitlin Clark stuff where they like she had to come out and apologize because she's got some people, some followers that say hurtful stuff. I like a guy that I really like and I respect. We were arguing about that where they're like she needs to come out because they're using her as a weapon. It's like I don't think they're. It's like I don't. Yeah, sure, she's got some pseudo racist fans, but it's like that's sports. When there's a fucking really good white person, that's what white people do. Like, what the fuck? Like, where have you been? Like, where the fuck have you been? Like, they love her and they wanted her to be on the Olympic team if she deserved it or not. Um, and yeah, there's gonna be some
Well,
crazy
I mean,
people, but it's
I
not
don't.
up to Caitlin Clark to say anything. Like, she doesn't have to apologize
Yeah,
for some people saying shit that she has nothing to do with. Like, to me, that makes me think like if she has to come out and say like, um, I like black lesbians and I respect all these women. It's like that makes it seem like she did it in the first place.
exactly, and
Like she didn't
it's
never did any of
complete
that. Like why
it's
the fuck does
complete
she? Yeah,
nonsense.
like why do I have to fucking apologize for some racist shit that
And
some other
it
person said?
but see,
Like
here's the thing. Like, can you remember another athlete that has had this much shit surrounding them, especially the rookie season?
it's
None of this
tough,
falls
and
on
yeah,
her.
and it's exactly, and it's like, and on top of that, she's trying to be a good basketball player. It's like that's the last thing she need to be worried about. Her job is to be good, and she's got more pressure than all these fucking broads. And now
She
she's got
seems
to
like
come.
the nicest person
And
in the
she,
world
no, I
too.
wouldn't say
Like,
off the court, but on the court, she does talk a lot of shit.
oh,
Um,
absolutely. And, but
and
but see that
that's what
that's
people like about him, or like
well,
about
that's
her.
the thing. Anybody who likes sports, we love that trash talk. I
And I
mean,
think
I was a big shit talker on the field.
and and people are doing this weird thing where they're pretending like they've been a WNBA fan for 10 years. Like
Yeah.
if they don't like Caitlin Clark, it's like I have no problem admitting that like she's the reason I'm watching for whatever reason. I don't even necessarily know exactly why, but I haven't been watching. I wasn't watching before her and Angel Reese and all that shit. I wasn't watching girls basketball. I didn't watch a WNBA game during that. I was watching college basketball. Now I'm watching WNBA, and I don't think it's necessarily a racial thing because the goat of the WNBA is white, and nobody was like starting a race war over Diana Taurasi. I don't like or Brianna Stewart. She's like the second one. You want to be top three? It's like there's a bunch of good white girls in the thing. It wasn't like the WNBA fans are waiting for a white girl to emerge and start a race war to get. It's like there's always been really good white players in the WNBA. It's not like the NBA. It's a lot more blended, and they're making it seem like, oh, racist. Just finally they got their Caitlin Clark to argue. It's like, no, I just think they like her. She's got some swag. I think she's got fans. I don't think it's a political thing. I think she's got fans on both sides of the aisle, both all races. I know black people love Clayton Clark, and it's like I didn't get why they kept her off the USA team. I understand the
Well,
meritocracy of it.
if you're trying to grow your brands globally, the WNBA brand, if you're trying to, why wouldn't you? That just makes it's not even about you. You've won 9 straight gold medals. You're gonna win with or without her, regardless. You're gonna win. So why not? Tell me why Brittany Griner deserves a spot more than Caitlin Clark does.
This is what they'll say. This is what they're saying is that like Team USA is not worried about growing the WNBA, and they don't make any money. They just get what they get. They only get paid if they get gold. But like you
Those
said,
girls
it's
play in the WNBA.
yes,
They should
exactly. It's a
worry.
conglomerate, and it's like yeah, women and the people who work for the WNBA and their players, their coaches, the executives have been clamoring that we're not watching. We don't care. Women need more respect. They need to get paid more. They fucking get perfect opportunity, and they're like, no. And it's like, then I don't want to hear you whine. Like, you like even the NBA doesn't just send the 12 best players. Like
No,
fucking
they don't.
Keldon Johnson was on the team, and I'm not saying he's Caleb Clark. It's just like his coach was the thing, so they took somebody from his team and put him on there. Like, make up a fucking reason, but you put Caitlin Clark on the team, and when you guys are in these blowouts, we get to come in and jack up some threes against some Chinese girls. And it's like, what are you thinking? Like, she's the reason people are watching. More eyeballs is always good. And then next year, you guys are complaining about charter buses and flying coach. Next year, you get a private jet because Caitlin Clark was on the team and all the
Yep.
money, all the jerseys she's going to sell. All it's like, I'm a fucking idiot and I understand this. And it's like, this is why the WNBA is operating in a deficit every year because they don't know what the hell they're doing. Like, you got to give the people what they want. Like, yes, certain things are based on merit, but I honestly, this is what I compare it to. When Conor McGregor was famous, Dana didn't make him wait in line to fight for the light heavyweight title. No, you jumped the fucking line. You're Conor fucking McGregor.
Not even
Like,
that. Not even that. I'll take you one step further because you know me, I'm a wrestling fan. When CM Punk left the WWE and signed with the UFC, he put him right on the card. He didn't have
yeah,
to
it's like,
because he knew that CM Punk would draw eyes. He's a
and that's what
draw.
they've been asking for. If the
That's what the
WNBA
best promoters in the world
and
do.
if and the WNBA wants to come out and say that we don't care about tickets, we're going to stop complaining, we're not worried about, then fine. But
Yep.
like, then don't complain because like if you want to make money, you got to make it a bit of a show. The NBA did it; they sold out and they fucking took the physicality out of the game. They played the race war, Magic versus Bird. When they had the stars, they pumped them up. Like they knew what to do, and it's like when you get one, you got to get her for all she's worth. It's like, and like I don't like I said, I don't want to make it misogynistic. Whatever, girls are just too catty. They're not thinking about everybody getting paid. It's like these girls are jealous that it's like, oh, I'm better than Caitlin Clark, but she's getting more. You know what I mean? Everyone thinks she's the best, and it's
Well,
like,
it's like Bill Burr said, realistically, they like, instead of supporting the WNBA and everything else like that, go feminist or watching the Kardashians and, I Love Atlanta or whatever the fuck
and they
that
want to
show
make
is.
us. We have to
But
be the ones that support it.
well,
Like,
it's not just that. They love to tear each other down.
yeah.
You don't see men doing that.
No.
You know what
And
I'm
I
saying?
think, yeah, like men are bitter I will say you will see the part like in the game where they're bumping them,
Yeah.
talking a little shit.
There's
But this shit
jealousy
like
there.
off the
There's
court,
jealousy there. Absolutely.
and like if right now Wemby was like, you know what, I want dual citizenship, I want to play on Team USA, he's gonna be on fucking Team USA.
1000%.
Like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? And he's not even as popular as Caitlin Clark.
No, not even
And
a
it's
little
like
bit.
they're not thinking at all. And I was enjoying some of the WNBA games. My problem is with it, and I've a lot of respect for those ladies. All of them will beat me in a game of 1-on-1. But what I'm saying, this shit's boring. Like there's a lot of missed layups, no dunks, slow paced, high school type basketball where they're running actions and running play. It's like I could go see that at the local high school or at a small college. It's like Caitlin Clark was high screens. We're shooting fucking deep threes. She's playing real fast. You know what I mean? It's not translating right away over the NBA. She's getting a lot of turnovers, but she plays fast. She pushes the ball. That's what we want to see. Like I said, the NBA sold out a long time ago and made the game less physical or less physical. People get hurt. People like this new generation of kids like the dunks and the scoring more than the defense, like we
We
did.
want to see the game changers
And they did in the NFL. They changed the rule. They changed from a physical NFL to protect the quarterbacks. And
for more points.
it's like, yeah, WNBA needs to do the same thing. You gotta get the fucking stick out of your ass and stop pretending like, oh well, we always do the 12 best. It's like, who cares what you always fucking do? What you always fucking do hasn't been working
Nope. That's why you haven't turned a
by
profit
your
yet.
own standards,
Really.
not mine. You guys have been the one complaining, not me. I can
Yep.
go back to not watching any WNBA games. Like, like I have no problem doing that or not caring about the WNBA. Like, I was being intrigued, and I can admit for whatever reason it was Caitlin Clark, and it's not because of race or whatever. I think her game, she talks a little shit. She got it's like the same with Steph Curry. People like Steph Curry. He's little. It's because like she looks like an everyday chick. She's not really big. When you're shooting, that's something that people can be like, oh, I could do that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, not necessarily, but just saying like that's a type of skill that you can technically acquire by just practicing. You can't be
Yes.
big and tall. Um, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. I've been tuned in. Angel Reese has been doing good for the Sky. The Sky, I mean,
She's rookie of the year favorite right now,
I know
Angel Reese.
they're not doing very good win or loss wise, but
No.
she's been
But see, I
dominating.
mean, yeah, I like Angel Reese as a player. She's got that swag to her too. She's got the Chicago personality,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
at the same time, it's like, she's got to stop being one of those bitter ones as well. Like I understand they have that natural rivalry between the two. I get it.
And I
But
think she's really the only person who can even say anything, like, because she's a part of it. But I do think, like, we all know who it is. Yes, Angel Reese, you know what I mean? But, like, she was the best girls basketball player. She went head to head with you guys, beat you one time, lost you another. But I don't know. Like, I didn't like I don't like the cancel culture. I don't like forcing Caitlin Clark to come out and apologize. She didn't do shit.
No.
Like people, and she's getting messed with too. And nobody's coming out and apologizing for their fans messing with Caitlin Clark.
Yep.
And it's like, and they're calling her ugly and all. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, this, and it's as a black person like this. They're like, oh, because it might have been some racist shit. That it's more serious. Like, I don't know. To Caitlin Clark, is it more serious? Like,
Well, here's the thing is like, all right, I can't speak on it because I am a white male in America. Okay. So this is easy for me to say. I don't know how, people of color and stuff like that feel about it, but we have to stop taking the race. We have to start taking the race card out of everything. Not everything is about race. It's really not. I mean, like I said, I know it's easy for
yes.
me to say because I'm a white
No, I
male,
mean, I
but
agree. That's what they make it seem, but like, it isn't about race. Will it come into play? Yes, of course. If Bulls fans don't like Celtics fans and you got a big nose and you're black, they're gonna say something. You know what I mean? Like, that's how like people will say rude things and it might be rooted in your race, but like if you were in a wheelchair, they might make fun of that. Like, that's just happening. But like, it ain't have nothing to do with actual race. Like, people are just mean and they're gonna use, you know what I mean, what they've got to work with. But I don't think it's like an actual race based issue where like white and black, like the white people love Caitlin Clark and the black people love the black players. Like, no, I don't think that's the case. I think Caitlin Clark's got plenty of black fans. Um, I just think there are like Nikki Haley. There's a few that my buddy said that the Clay Travis guy was the guy who came out, but he just like they're saying like he has no respect for the WNBA, but he was the guy who said he would give the WNBA $1 million if they could beat a high school state championship team. That was him.
yeah.
And I don't I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I guess that is disrespectful, but it is until you prove them wrong. Like, I don't like when you don't prove them wrong. Like, I guess it comes off as that, and um, I don't like. I feel now when you question the WNBA, people are like, "Oh, you don't respect those girls." Like, no, I just don't like it. That doesn't mean I don't have respect for them. Yeah, they'll beat me in a game of pickup. That doesn't mean I want to watch it. Like, cricket players will beat me at cricket. That doesn't mean I don't have any respect for them because I don't watch it. Like, it just means it's not appealing.
That is very fair, because I feel the same way about every winter sport.
Yeah, like that doesn't mean I
Even
have a
though
lack of respect. Like, I
yeah,
know this
even though
shit's hard.
snowboarding, like I understand snowboarding and ski. You know what the only Olympic winter sport that I like to watch is besides hockey, curling.
Like I said,
I I
and
don't know
people make
why.
fun of that, and it's like I don't like I said, when you make fun of WNBA, it's like, oh, you just don't respect what their game, and it's like, it's not like it's always like this, like trying to make it like this moral thing. It's like, no, it's slow and they're short, they can't dunk. I'd rather not watch it. That doesn't mean I don't think that like I have no respect for them. I don't. I think they're a joke. Like, it's just not entertaining, and yeah, I'm sure if I had a daughter who played, then I'd feel differently. Like, but I'm the type of person who can admit that. It's like I don't care right now. There's, you know what I mean? Sure, if circumstances changes, I might actually care. But right now, I don't want to watch a bunch of slow, short girls run around and play basketball unless they're jacking up fucking threes and talking shit. And there's some rivalry. Like, there's some of like there's an entertainment factor of it. I'm not watching women's basketball for the technicality
For
of
the
it.
fundamentals.
Yeah, like I don't. Nobody would watches the NBA for that. That's why they don't call it traveling anymore. That's why they
Yeah.
fucking like. Can we get
No,
with the
you're
Can we
right.
get with
You're
the fucking
you're
program? Like, that's
you're
like what the
1000%
like.
correct on
And
that.
the WNBA wants to pretend like, oh no, we're too noble for that. Like, no, this is some entertainment shit. And like, we don't want to take it to the next step where you guys got to dress slutty. Well, at least can you at least put on a fucking show though? Like, that's the next step. Like, that's what most girls do. It's like, you ever seen a women's volleyball game? Like, why do they have to dress like that? The men don't dress like that. Like,
Well, the men are shirtless and wear short shorts when they play volleyball, but
beach volleyball. I'm talking
yeah,
about like inside.
I still think they wear the short shorts, but other than that, no. But you're right. The girls on the indoor volleyball wearing the tight spandex shit. I never understood that.
Yeah.
Like I
Shane
never
Gillis
got.
does a bit where he's like, they're like, we need it, and he's like, look up the Special Olympics. They're not wearing it.
Dude,
It's like
I
I've
love
seen
Shane
the
Gillis.
NFL players. It's like, if it made you faster, they'd be wearing it in the NFL. It's like again, I'm not trying to object on. That's what ends just happens. But what I'm saying is like the win, like your game's not going to get watched if you're just like, all right, we're just going to put out a quality basketball product where all the rules are followed. We're playing nice technical basketball. Like, no, you need some drama, you need some headlines, you need rivalries, and you need faster pace and more threes. And it's like, um, they seem so against that.
Well, here's the thing: is that and it's been a factor of business for as long as business has been around. Controversy creates cash, right? And I know that's
No,
an old wrestling term, that they use back in the Attitude Era days where WCW and WWE were clashing and stuff like that. But it holds true. Controversy creates cash. The more people talk about it, whether it be positively or negatively, the more eyes are going to be on your product. And you said it wholeheartedly when you said it's about entertainment value. And that's 1000% the truth. You have to have some. The NBA does a spectacle of it pretty much every game. They try to make something of something that's not there. They talk about how there's bad blood between these two teams because of this. This happened 16 years ago on this day.
no.
They're trying to get, they're trying to create a story, a drama, to get people interested and everything else like that. And that's exactly what the WNBA needs with, Caitlin Clark. And, that's why this Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese thing, as long as both of them are in the league, every time those two play each other, that's what it's going to be about. And that's going to be the highest game probably watched in the entire season, is because they know the rivalry. There's a
Yeah, and they
base
should be leaning into it instead
already
of
in
like
there. You know what
they're
I'm
like,
saying? It creates
yeah,
drama, it
they're
creates
and they're pushing it back against it where they're like, no, we want you guys to like be. It's like we weren't watching the game, and it's like they're trying to be loyal to their day one fans, but it's like they weren't building your brand. Like they had a chance to support you guys and to buy jerseys and to show up in games, and they fucking didn't. So it's like if you want new people to come, you got to do new shit, and you
Yep.
have to do more of what the new people like. And like I said, the Conor McGregor thing is how I always felt about it. It's like he's Conor McGregor. We all knew anybody who was an MMA fan, even though he was putting on getting spectacular knockouts, we knew he wasn't the best in the MMA. We
No.
knew but when he skipped the line and fought for the belt, it's like nobody was like, "Oh, what the hell is he
Well,
doing?" He didn't like a few people were like, "Oh, he doesn't deserve it," but like that's what the
it's
people wanted to see. Like,
it's the Anderson Silva Chael Sonnen.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Chael Sonnen was a nobody until he
yeah,
started talking shit about Anderson Silva, and he did it well. So
yes,
everybody's like, "Oh, I want to see Chael Sonnen get his ass beat." You know what I'm saying? And like, I mean, goddamn, Chael Sonnen almost took it to him. But I mean, like that's the thing, is that's what people want to see. They don't want to see the nitpicky, we're gonna do everything by the book kind of. We don't want to see it because it's
no.
not entertaining.
Oh, well, I hope they figure it out, but got a couple more weeks. Bears training camp. Do us a favor and close this one out. It's been a while. It's the longest one we did in a long time. Kind of went
Yeah.
on WNBA tangent. But like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff, please. On anything you see of ours, please help
Absolutely.
channel grow. I'll see you. We'll see you guys next week, and I'll see you soon. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see what's going on.
All right, for sure. Just
Adios.
I'll shoot you a text.
Yes, sir.
All right.